Take the point.
For American soldiers in the field, it was grinding and bloody. But by mid-1966, the Vietnam War was settling into just the kind of conflict that General William Westmoreland believed America would win, a war of attrition. What General Westmoreland didn't recognize was that the North Vietnamese also saw a war they could win, as long as they didn't meet the Americans head-on.
The booby trap, the landmine, the raid, the ambush. Any square yard of Vietnam could be this absolutely, utterly peaceful place 1 second. And the next second, it was the end of the world.
We are not fighting a conventional war. We would go in a kind of surprise attack and then withdraw immediately. Very effective.
As the U.S. grew frustrated by its inability to score decisive victories against the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong, the administration continued to pour more men and more machinery into Vietnam. By mid-1967, close to 500,000 Americans were involved in the fight. In the face of these escalations, the North Vietnamese continually adapted their strategies. The only option they never discussed among themselves was surrender.
As long as a live Vietnamese there, the resistance would go on. We just wouldn't accept a two Vietnam.
If that rice is wet, spread it out on the ground, otherwise burn it.
For American troops, most of whom left Vietnam after 1 year of duty, things were not quite as clear at all. Almost anyone was a potential enemy, as the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong enjoyed widespread sympathy in South Vietnam. In such an atmosphere of confusion, areas were conquered and then abandoned, villages saved and then destroyed.
I believe I'm correct in saying that in the past 4.5 years, the Viet Cong, the communists, have lost 89,000 men killed.
Many Americans were dying too, without ever understanding what they'd been fighting for.
There was one kid who was grievously injured, and I had my arms around him, trying to comfort him, but he was losing consciousness, and he just kept staring up with an expression on his face of, why, what's happening to me, what's happening to me. By then, 1967 and 68, when we were losing hundreds a week in that same fashion, you had to start questioning how much longer could this go on.
On January the 20th, 1968, U.S. Marines got involved in a battle with the North Vietnamese near the American base at Quezon. It was the beginning of a critical campaign.